My name is Hyunju An.
And my name is Mijin Jun. And I'm Suju Park.
We are students from Jeongja Middle School, Seongnam, and we're Connecting Classroom students in British Council, Korea. We are delighted to participate in this climate change project with Young Climate Change Ambassador from British Council.
Hello everybody, I'm Mijin and it's great to meet you all. To begin with, what I'm going to do is to introduce our first class. Jeongja Middle School has two main climate change programs, which are 60 Days Plan and Traveling Polar Bear. And this project is called 60 Days Plan with Traveling Polar Bear. Basically, with these main programs, various kinds of supplementary climate change activities are added during our all three sessions. Today is at the very beginning class, and 60 Days Plan with Traveling Polar Bear project is firstly initiated, and this will be lasted for 3 months, from September to December. This is our polar bear, Polaris. We ourselves made a name for this adorable polar bear, and Polaris will be able to travel with us from now on. One of the young climate change ambassadors is now introducing today's program, and we are all deeply engrossed to this program. A girl holding Polaris is me. We took a picture with Polaris striking a pose. Actually, in order for Polaris to make a journey, passport is required. Thus, we're now making a passport for Polaris, and this will be passed throughout our whole class, letting us jot down some messages on climate change. This is Yanhyun, and she is the first person who would start a journey with Polaris. Once she completed a guideline or any messages on climate change with Polaris, she can then hand Polaris and passport to another friend in our class, and this process will be achieved by taking turns. Taewon is the next person who will travel with Polaris, and it will be passed to Hyunju, Suju, and then me in order. And who's next anyway? This is our group photo with Young Climate Change Ambassador and our teacher. All Jeongja Middle School students here would participate in 60 Days Plan with Traveling Polar Bear from now on.
Hello everybody, I'm Suju, and what a pleasure to meet you all. Now moving on, I'd like to present our second class. The Young Climate Change Ambassadors is giving an explanation for today's program. Becoming a climate change detective and making a climate change newspaper is today's main program. First of all, when it comes to climate change detective, we can play a significant role as a detective. To put it in another way, we went in and around school to spot some places where it would result in climate change, and we can take pictures. So with the pictures taken, some guidelines and rules will be set to make things much better for climate change. In addition to this, climate change newspapers should be covered with an article about an image of the Earth, and we were able to write an imaginary article whether climate change got worse or got better in 10 years. Therefore, we were encouraged to form a newspaper with an activity of detective and image of the Earth in 10 years altogether. Now all teams are making their newspaper very hard. That's the spirit. Way to go! After completing our newspapers, the presentation began as teams. My team is now presenting our newspaper. Each team gave an account of their newspaper, and all ideas were great enough to share ideas on climate change. All groups did a really good job. It was a really memorable day for us to stretch our mind and to use imagination for making the greener place where we live in.
Hello everyone, I'm Hyunju, and I'm the last person to present our last class. On this day, Kai's climate change game was done, and this game was particularly made by our Young Climate Change Ambassadors. One of the YCCA members is now explaining rules and how to do the game for us. Clearly, this game is not very difficult, but is very meaningful. Basically, 3 different colors of cards and a world map is needed to do the game. In order to more actively participate in this game, some fundamental concepts were informed, and I'd like to tell you about them. First of all, climate change adaptations are adjustments in natural or human systems in response to actual or expected climatic stimuli or their effects, which moderate harm or exploit beneficial opportunities, and this climate change adaptation cards are red. Also, climate change mitigations are actions that reduce our contributions to the causes of climate change, such as reducing our emissions of greenhouse gases through energy efficiency and using alternative forms of transport and energy. And these climate change mitigation cards are yellow ones, and the back of the red and yellow cards is white. To be more specific first, any cards are attached randomly on the world map, and the whole class is divided into 3 teams to play. Next, one of each team member can take any red or yellow cards from the world map, and then all team members solve the climate change issues with the green solutions card already assigned by groups. Lastly, once we find the solution to any climate change issues, then YCCA check whether we find the right solution in response to issues that we are encouraged to solve the climate change crisis with, the 2 manners of adaptation and mitigation. If one team solves the red or yellow cards issues appropriately, then they can reattach the cards to the map with the back of the side, which is a white card. Thus, different colors of stickers were put on the white side to distinguish which team solved, and it is also possible to check how many issues were resolved. Therefore, a group which solves all climate change issues the most rapidly among all 3 teams would win. For example, if our team picked certification in China card, which is a red one, then we need to take an action for climate change adaptation, and planting trees is a suitable solution for this crisis. Finally, Yono's team won the game, and they won a prize, an eco-friendly bag by British Council. We enjoyed a lot, and we may prevent and tackle climate change with the solution of adaptation and mitigation by taking part in this KAI's climate change game. Do you find this game interesting as well? Why don't you tell me what you think about this?
Like what I mentioned at the beginning class, 60 Days Plan is our main program for climate change, and this 60 Days Plan is a kind of 60 activities on climate change. A piece of plan is provided to us, and we can practice each plan for each day. The ultimate motto of 60 Days Plan is many drops make a shower, and we believe that we can tackle climate change with the minimal efforts on daily basis. More importantly, 60 Days Plan goes with YCCA's feedback so that we upload our activities, including messages and photos of each plan, to the Connecting Classroom site. Thus, YCCA could check whether we exercise plans properly, and all students were able to share their thoughts and experiences, and this process offered valuable lessons on tackling climate change. These are our 60 Days Plan and what we posted on the Connecting Classroom site.
I'd like to turn to Traveling Polar Bear, which is one of the other main program for us. This is our polar bear, Polaris, like we've said at the start, and these passports that we filled out during 3 months. Our own guidelines on climate change and personal photos with Polaris are all included in this passport. Traveling Polar Bear enabled us to transfer our messages and promises on climate change with others, so we could trade ideas on climate change with each other. Actually, we put a lot of effort into this project, so I'm really proud of all of us.
Finally, we Jeongja Middle School students are all honored to participate in this climate change project as Connecting Classroom students, and we're very proud of fulfilling our roles as younger generations in tackling climate change. Thank you for watching our portfolio. We were Jeongja Middle School students with 60 Days Plan with Traveling Polar Bear.
I'm very glad to participate in this project, and I will try my best to tackle climate change.
I'm also very happy to be able to participate in the climate change project, and I hope that we'll have more chances to think about climate change in the future.
We are thankful to the YCCA ambassadors, and I would like to take part in changing the world climate in a better way.
Thank
you.